Is AJ Lee's return a love letter to a past era or the sharpest work? Shoot, swerve, WWE has written in years. That's the question hanging over everything right now.
It isn't about whether she's back. We've already seen that. The real story is about what she's trying to say and why the ending most fans expect might only be the setup for something much bigger.
The energy around AJ's comeback has been unlike anything in years. Some fans are celebrating it as pure nostalgia, a long-awaited homecoming.
Others are picking apart the layers, noticing how WWE seems to be deliberately mirroring real-life events from AJ and Punk's history. It's got people split down the middle. Is this just a feel-good return, or is it setting the stage for the kind of twist that blurs the line between reality and storyline? Because let's be honest, AJ's story was never simple. When she stepped away in 2015, it wasn't just about injury or burnout. She became one of the most vocal advocates for women's wrestling, for equality, and for voices that WWE often tried to silence.
She wrote about it, spoke about it, and even from outside the ring, she influenced the direction of the women's division. That history matters now, because when a wrestler comes back, fans usually watch the neck, the body, the stamina. But AJ's edge was never just her body, it was her voice. And if this storyline is about power, then her in-ring work is only part of the message.
And the timing of her return isn't random either. WrestlePalooza isn't just another premium live event, it's WWE's first big show to air on ESPN.
That's a historic crossover moment. When companies make moves like this, they want attention-grabbing tentpoles. And AJ Lee is exactly that kind of piece on the chessboard. She's not a pawn to be moved in early game exchanges.
She's a queen who changes how every other piece on the board has to move, even if she only makes 2 or 3 moves herself. And WWE has been dropping hints that all of this is carefully orchestrated.
Like Becky Lynch slapping CM Punk, AJ appearing in front of her hometown crowd, the subtle callbacks to AJ's history with corporate clashes and controversial exits. None of this is random. This is the work, shoot, mirror at play.
It's the idea that WWE is deliberately crafting moments that rhyme with AJ's real past, but flipping them just enough to feel new.
Or so it seems if you look at it that way.
Fans recognize the shape of history, but they're being asked to watch it from the opposite side. Now, the easy prediction is obvious. CM Punk and AJ Lee team up against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in a mixed tag match at WrestlePalooza. It's couple versus couple, hero versus heel.
Crowd pops, happy nostalgia, curtain closes. That's what people expect, but we all know that easy stories don't last.
If this is only a one-off exhibition, the hype dies the second the bell rings. If it's a power story, though, the bell is just the door opening to something bigger. And here's where the seeds of a swerve start to take root. AJ's story doesn't have to be about allegiance. It could be about agency.
Did she really come back just to defend Punk? Or did she come back to demand equal spotlight and equal stakes? That question changes everything. Becky Lynch then becomes more than just an opponent. She becomes AJ's mirror, the modern standard bearer against the original disruptor. Neither woman plays sidekick. Both demand the center, and the economics of factions make it even more interesting.
If AJ aligns with Punk, it strengthens him. But if she pushes back, even subtly, it reshapes the entire women's division overnight. That's the kind of move that echoes beyond one event.
But let's widen the lens, because fans are already speculating about where AJ goes after WrestlePalooza. Becky Lynch is the obvious feud, sure, but names like Bayley, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan are already in the conversation.
Well, each option represents a different version of AJ's role. Against Bayley, she'd be the returning veteran testing the fallen star, who's desperate for a new edge.
Against Roxanne, she becomes the measuring stick for a rising generation, the disruptor now forced to defend her legacy. And against Liv Morgan, especially if Liv returns as a darker, edgier character, it could become a clash of 2 underdogs fighting to prove who's more dangerous.
And of course, WWE knows these conversations fuel speculation, and speculation is what keeps AJ's return alive week after week. Bayley especially stands out here. She's been teased as slipping into a darker, more conflicted persona.
Imagine Bayley re-emerging to blindside AJ, kicking off a feud that stretches through the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber. That's not just a placeholder rivalry. That's a program that could re-establish Bayley while giving AJ a major storyline outside of Punk.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And so, How about Roxanne Perez? She represents the future, but she's already got credibility. A program with AJ would do more than spotlight Roxanne. It would give WWE the chance to position AJ as both a gatekeeper and a disruptor simultaneously.
Does she protect her legacy, or does she use her return to elevate someone new? That's a storyline fans would debate passionately because either path could be justified. And then there's Liv Morgan. If Liv comes back darker, if she plays the heel and leans into the Judgment Day deception threads, AJ versus Liv becomes a battle of characters who both know what it's like to be underestimated and sidelined. Imagine Liv eliminating AJ in the Royal Rumble to set up their WrestleMania clash.
That's not just fantasy booking. It's the kind of long-term storytelling WWE has been experimenting with. So, when we talk about AJ's return, we can't limit it to one match or one event. This is about planting seeds that stretch across months. War Games, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, even WrestleMania. They're all potential stages for AJ to reshape the narrative. Only time can reveal those possible cans of whoop ass, and unfortunately, our social feeds have been silent lately. No direct jabs have been thrown between AJ and Punk and Becky and Seth, except for a subtle like from AJ on a fan tweet that read, "Whose side is she really on?"
That silence is louder than any promo in my opinion. But good news, the silence just ended as Seth made an unexpected appearance and statement on ESPN's First Take saying, "They're all feeding off of me," claiming himself to be the greatest superstar of any generation in the WWE and ending his rant with being the Stephen A. Smith of WWE. Wild. And can you believe Paul Heyman sat next to Rollins claiming the win for Becky and him, against AJ and Punk saying they would win by any means necessary? Funny thing though, no mentions of the slap AJ served him. That epic slap for slap by AJ was enough for me though, and definitely fueling their tag team match at WrestlePalooza for sure. Now fans, let's circle back and tie in WrestlePalooza. What if the expected outcome might not even be the real headline? So try and imagine this twist. What if the defining moment at WrestlePalooza isn't Punk's GTS or Becky's manhandle slam, but AJ actually getting more than a nostalgic victory? What if it actually ends in a way so unexpected you could slap your mama? No pun intended. So what if we end up witnessing something like AJ locking Seth Rollins in a freaking Black Widow, forcing him to tap out? Yeah, tap out!
Imagine the ripple effect of that. Becky Lynch standing furious at ringside, CM Punk smirking in satisfaction, Seth humiliated in front of the world, and AJ standing tall, not as anyone's partner, but as the undeniable center of the story.
That would be wild. Is WWE that risky? Nowadays, maybe. That creative? Maybe not, but either way, that's not closure. That's ignition. It's the hook for the next chapter. And so the question becomes, is this a story about revenge, reform, or a reveal that AJ's allegiance might not be what the fans are expecting or are hoping for? All we know for sure is someone will be getting slapped and someone will be counted out 1, 2, 3 or tapped out.